Hello and welcome back to Just Talking About Sports. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Drew.
And Drew, what are you doing today?
We are just talking about sports.
Very mellow tone for a new location for Drew. Drew's finally in college, where I am kind of on my way out. So this is probably the last time you'll be seeing me in my spectacular room before I will be going to college and trying to keep up with our recordings. We'll see how consistent I stay while having to battle homework and all the other projects I have going on. But I'll try my best to keep putting out videos. But what for today, we are going to be talking about the NFL playoff predictions. This time it's the conference championship. We only have 8 teams left. We only have 4 teams left. Gosh, man.
The Final Four.
Yeah, the final 4 left. We are two weeks away from the Super Bowl. So it is getting intense as we've only got 4 teams. Drew's Packers are still alive, so he's a very happy camper. But
You know what? I'm only a happy camper if they win, because if they lose, I will turn into a very sad camper.
But hey, we'll stick with this Packers talk at least for a little bit later, because for now we're going to quickly run through a little bit of our recap on how we did last week and all of our overall records, because we have a new leader in our pick'ems. So Drew, who is our new leader?
Okay, our new leader in our pick'ems. Last week it was me, but now it's Luca who is in the lead at 7-3. He went 2-2 this weekend. I went 1-3 this weekend. Luca has jumped me. I am 6-4, and bringing up the rear, it is Ethan and Matthew, both at 5-5.
Rough week for me.
Matthew gained a couple games though. He went 3-1. Ethan went 1-3. So rough week for Ethan and I. But hey, we got 2 games, so the worst we can do is 0-2. So it's okay.
All right. Well, those are our overall rankings. Hopefully, I could try and build some ground on you and maybe Luca, because I need to catch up and I don't want to be below Matt. Which, speaking of Matt can't be with us today because he's got schoolwork. So that's why it's just the 2 of us today. And we still have his picks, but we'll just be kind of running through them super quick. So, all righty. Well, we'll start here at Sunday's first game of the day. This is going to be the Battle of the GOAT, as they kind of are calling it, because it's between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Drew, who do you have winning this game? I don't even know why I asked that.
Why did you ask? It's a dumb question, Ethan. Of course I'm going to pick my Green Bay Packers, but it's not just blind faith. I legitimately believe they'll win. All right. I am confident in my team, and here's why. All right. We understand that week 6, Tampa Bay absolutely trounced Green Bay in Tampa Bay. But if we've learned anything, especially from last week, it's that the regular season has very little impact in the postseason, because New Orleans swept Tampa Bay 2-0. And what did we see last week? Tom Brady darn near put Drew Brees into retirement. So, I mean, the regular season means very little. And if we look at the Green Bay Packers from week 6 until now, it's a very different team. They've figured themselves out more. Their offense is clicking better. A.J. Dillon is now more involved. Aaron Rodgers has played like the MVP. And if he isn't the MVP, I don't know what to tell you. The defense has really found their identity, stepped it up in a big way. The pieces are all coming together. And I think this is just the perfect storm. It's in Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers finally gets an NFC championship game at home after Seattle, Atlanta, San Francisco. He finally gets one at home. And I feel like this is the game where the Green Bay Packers take it home.
Yeah, I think the biggest factor in this is not Aaron Rodgers. It's not Tom Brady. It's not the Packers. It's not the Buccaneers. It's Mother Nature. Frozen tundra is a real thing, and it's going to be nice and chilly and, of course, snow on this Sunday. So I think it's going to be a little bit harder time for these Tampa and these Florida players to get used to the cold, because they are not used to it. They're in the the NFC South, where they never get anywhere near to any type of snow. So playing in this frozen tundra is going to be definitely harder. I mean, Tom Brady and Gronkowski should be able to because they're so used to it. But it's these other players I'm worried about, like the Mike Evans, the Chris Godwins, the running backs, Leonard Fournette, the Ronald Jones. Will they able to make or not make any mistakes in this ice cold, freezing game that they're going to have? And that's why I have the Packers, in my opinion, because I think the weather is going to be the biggest factor. I think Aaron Rodgers will be able to prove everybody wrong. I just don't want to see Tom Brady win his 7th ring. So I think that Aaron Rodgers has got it. I mean, in terms for the Buccaneers on a stat line, they were 3rd overall in points per game, 2nd in passing yards per game, and 1st in least rushing yards allowed per game. So the Packers are going to have a harder time running the ball as they did against them earlier in the season. But I think that it's going to be all Aaron Rodgers through the passing game, because if we saw anything when there's snow, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers have just such an unbelievable magical connection, and the two, at least whatever Devontae has on his cleats, always somehow be able to work out. And I think the Packers will be able to take this one.
Well, see, Ethan, here's the thing. You mentioned Mother Nature. If we go back to the late season game, Green Bay versus Tennessee in Green Bay, it was cold, it was snowing. Green Bay put up 40 points against Tennessee, and Tennessee really couldn't get anything going. And like you said, I mean, the players that aren't named Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, and Rob Gronkowski that have played in Florida for a long time, I don't know how they'll be able to adapt to the elements. And I know for a fact that Tom Brady doesn't want to go back to a cold, isolated place such as Green Bay, Wisconsin, because I remember when he signed with the Buccaneers, he said the quote, "You wouldn't catch me dead living in the Northeast again." He likes the warm and he doesn't want to go back. So I think the frozen tundra will definitely create a home field advantage. And another thing you mentioned is, the Packers and their run game. I'm fairly confident about their run game this time around, because last week, I mean, they put up 32 points on the number 1 defense. I think it was 188 yards on the ground total. All 3 running backs were involved. All 3 running backs were running well. And I feel like with the adjustments that Green Bay has made, I think it'll definitely be a challenge, but I think they'll be up to the challenge.
Oh, I mean, I think you guys are missing A.J. Dillon, right? The status on him is up in the air.
The status on him is up in the air, but even so, I think Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams bring enough to the table to where that the run game can still make enough of an impact. Although having A.J. Dillon in the lineup, having that absolute bulldozer really does help. And the last time, A.J. Dillon in the snow, he out Derrick Henry.
So it's gonna be interesting. Packers even to show up, but we now have Matt's pick. We got a text from him, so I'll read it out for everybody who was caring. So for Matt's pick in the NFC, he is not sticking with the Packers, and he's taking the Buccaneers. He said in this one simply because we are witnessing an offense unlike one we've seen in a long time. Brady, Evans, Godwin, Antonio Brown, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Robert Gronkowski, and a defensive unit led by Shaq Lawson, Levante David, and Devin White. It'll be a Mahomes v. Brady Super Bowl, or in an epic Super Bowl showdown. So that's what Matt is believing.
Well, I think this is a nice segue into the AFC game. And Ethan, I mean, you've already played Matt's hand. Matt has the Kansas City Chiefs, but what about you in this game?
I have to take the Chiefs. I mean, the Bills, I love their coming up story. The Bills Mafia, they're a hard team to hate just because of how nice they've been. They're in my opinion, they're the Canadian team where they're like so nice it's hard to hate them, especially with how crazy they can get. And they have one of the best fan bases in the entire league. But in my opinion, they have one of the best fan bases, but do they have one of the best teams in the league? This year, I don't think so. I think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are just too hard to knock off, especially with Patrick Mahomes being able to practice after all the reports of him not being able to after he almost got a concussion and messed up his toe. He got turf toe. He had two injuries in the game against Cleveland, but he has come out and still somewhat healthy and enough to be able to practice. He's not going to be 100% against the Bills, but a Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead Stadium is better than anything else. And with their offense like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and their defense with Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones, just unbelievably, and just I think a little bit too hard for the Bills to overcome, because the Bills solely rely on Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen to carry them on offense, and that is pretty much the entire offense. Although their defense did step up against the Ravens last time, allowing them to only score 3 points, but I think Mother Nature also helped out because Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals during that game, which made it a little bit closer. But I think that the Bills, it's a little too hard for them. Chiefs, I have them making it to the Super Bowl and meeting the Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So what are your opinions on this?
I mean, you pretty much touched on everything. I like you have the Kansas City Chiefs, and I believe if Patrick Mahomes plays, the Buffalo Bills window of victory goes way down. And I'm not going to say it's slammed shut, because if there's one team that can keep pace with that Kansas City offense, it is definitely Buffalo. But when I look at Buffalo's offense, I see that they're very one-dimensional in terms of their offense is really reliant on Josh Allen and how well they can throw the ball. I believe they were the third-ranked pass offense during the regular season and near the bottom of the league in the run game. And as we've seen throughout the playoffs, the Bills' run game itself runs through Josh Allen. So, and I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs defense, when asked, can step up to the task, as we've seen last playoffs, and playoff experience is very important. Let's not forget that. But the real question in this game that everybody's asking is Patrick Mahomes going to play? And the answer right now is probably. They're going to find a way to get him out there.
Oh, yeah.
Because a Kansas City Chiefs offense, like you said, led by Patrick Mahomes is better than nothing at all. Like a banged up Mahomes is better than nothing at all. But let's just say that Patrick Mahomes does sit. And the man, the myth, the legend, Chad Henne has to play quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that offense is explosive enough. The weapons around Chad Henne, he's a 13-year veteran. Hey, I own a Chad Henne Dolphins jersey. Anything is possible.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Anything is possible. All right. And I believe there are reports that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is close to returning. So if he's able to go for the AFC Championship game, that's another dimension that is much needed for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, Darrell Williams and Le'Veon Bell have filled in fine, but I think really having Clyde Edwards-Helaire back in the backfield is a huge addition for the Kansas City Chiefs in both the run and the pass game. But either way, I mean, I think that the Kansas City Chiefs have a definite shot to meet Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. And like you, I have a Rodgers-Mahomes Super Bowl as well. And hopefully, for my sake, at least the Green Bay Packers make it. So,
all right. We'll see, though. I think that Chad Henne, as much as I love him, I mean, the Dolphins drafted him, and then Matt would be going all ham right now talking about how he was a god on the Jaguars, and me and him would be fighting over who was Chad Henne better on the Dolphins.
Let's just say that just talking about sports is a very Chad Henne-centric channel. We love Chad Henne on this channel.
So I think even if Patrick Mahomes isn't able to play or isn't 100%, and they have to chuck Chad Henne in, they have enough weapons on that offense to be able to hit it. I know Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce were getting pissed because they were getting obviously frustrated on the sidelines when Chad Henne was missing them being wide open, at least wide open in Patrick Mahomes' terms when he is playing, because he's able to hit the no lookers. But I feel like Chiefs just too much for them. They'll be going to Super Bowl back to back. Bills Mafia, we love you, but this year, you gotta find a way to beat the Chiefs. But for this year, I don't see you guys doing it.
Well, I mean, you touched a little bit. I agree, but you touched a little bit on the frustration of a Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce not getting the ball. I will say this: I don't think they will have the same problems as they did against Cleveland in this game if Chad Henne does play, because it's a lot different coming into a game cold, you relieving a Patrick Mahomes when you really didn't have much of a shot to play in the first place. Like Chad Henne didn't expect to get thrown in that game.
Oh yeah.
But now Patrick Mahomes has like something tweaked in his neck or a concussion or a toe injury and can't go. I think that on the preparation side, there will be a little bit more effort on that side in terms of Chad Haney getting ready to play. So I feel like the issues that Chad Haney had, getting the ball down the field, getting the ball to the open wide receiver, I feel like that will be minimized if he goes against Buffalo. But
Mhm.
hey, any given Sunday and anything is possible. So
There you go. Very, very well said. Well, I think that will do it. I know we didn't really touch on Luca's picks because Luca was also unavailable. He's in college, but we will link his picks into the description and let you guys know what he chose, just so we have proof that he's not cheating or and he's not, at least if we're so
Luca
we
Vitale is an
won't pick.
honorable man. All right. Let's
Yes.
not question the honor of a Luca Vitale.
Yes, we will be we'll honor him by putting his picks in the description, as well as we've already said Matt's picking the Chiefs and the Buccaneers to make it. Those are his two big picks. And then we've got our two picks with the Packers and the Chiefs. We're great minds think alike. So with those picks, I think that will do it for our NFL playoff conference championship games. 4 teams remain. Only 2 will by Monday. So and we'll be able to see who is in the Super Bowl by Monday. So I cannot wait. We'll be definitely watching that game. And until then, we'll be here just talking about sports.